What is up, gang? Thank you for checking out Sledgehammer TV today. It is Saturday, and this Monday is starting the SuperStar Shakeup, the two-day event that is guaranteed to let us down, and we are here to bring the hammer down like we always do on the newest, fastest rising podcast in all of YouTube, baby! The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Let's do it.
Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
All right, wrestling fans, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Nick Nightmare. Along with me, as always, is the world's greatest tag team of Thor, the wrestling god of thunder, the official sledgehammer of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, and my little buddy, my trusty companion since day one, the world heavyweight champion of microphones, Blue the Snowball. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Don't forget to drop kick that like button and subscribe if you are not already a member of the Sledgehammer Club. Also, big news, you guys, the audio podcasts are now back up and running. I have finally figured out a way to get my audio podcasts back on track. We are available once again on Podbean, iTunes, and Stitcher Radio. If you need to take us on the go and you don't have time to sit and watch at home in the comfort of your chair or however you watch me on YouTube, and you just want to listen along and follow us there at Podbean or check us out on iTunes, don't forget to leave us a rating and give us a like and a follow on those platforms as well, so that everywhere you go, when you're on the go, you could listen to us bring the hammer down as you see fit. Because when you need your sledgehammer fix, this is the place to be, and that's Sledgehammer TV. On the flip side, if you are listening to this and you are not watching this on YouTube, what are you waiting for, man? Get your eyes on that YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button and become one of the hundreds of people that already know that this is the place to be when you want truth and justice in your wrestling coverage. Thor and Blue and the legendary Nick Nightmare bring it to you sugar-free. Absolutely sugar-free. There is no sweetness here on this channel, because we are not here to be sweet and talk about rainbows and unicorns and how wonderful everything is. We are here to bring to you guys the truth and to show you guys how the WWE constantly wants to pull the wool over our eyes. And we did a great job of doing just that on our Raw review tonight, as we were among the first podcasts on the internet anywhere. I don't care what anybody says. I might have been the very first to drop you guys on the knowledge, the truth bomb of what the WWE's greatest Royal Rumble is really all about, and how it should actually be named what it is, and that's Vince McMahon's WrestleMania. If you want to hear more about that, because I tore it down and the hammer came down hard on the greatest Royal Rumble already, we will be doing it again, because I will be covering that piece of trash, this debacle that's about to happen in the desert. The debacle in the desert, everybody. The greatest fucking Royal Rumble. Get out of here. Oh my God. Let's talk about this week, though. Thank you guys so much, of course, for supporting the show every single way that you guys do. Thank you guys as well who picked up the shirt during our WrestleMania shirt promotion. Don't forget to get at me with your pictures of yourself donning your Sledgehammer Club gear. This way I can give you guys the proper shout out and show you guys on this channel, because you guys deserve it. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Now let's get to this shakeup, the two-day event that's going to span across Raw and SmackDown Live. That, you know, really going into this, all I want is for them to do it in a TV show way. And what I mean by that is I want structure in this show. I don't want them to just have random people come out on the show that are not supposed to be there, and now they're on the show, like they did last year for the shakeup. After they fucked up so badly with the draft, a couple of months later they did the shakeup. They did nothing interesting with it. What's the point of having general managers and commissioners if we're not going to show them interacting with one another at an event such as this, where trades are going to be made, superstars are going to be moved from one brand to the next? How is it happening? Is it just being written on the script by your retarded staff of writers that couldn't be creative if they were gifted a bag of magical pixie dust that all it was meant to do was give you creativity? They would still fail. They would still fail on an epic level if you want to go into this show Monday and Tuesday and give us what you gave us last year. I don't want to be sitting there watching Raw on Monday night and then have Alexa Bliss come out just because, all right, yay, now Alexa Bliss, she's on Raw. Just accept it. What? Give us explanation. Give us some drama. Show us some people backstage going to Kurt Angle. Please, Kurt, get me off SmackDown. Have Dolph Ziggler go over there. Listen, they don't know what they're doing with me over here. Please, let me come. Make a trade for Dolph to come back to Monday Night Raw and let me go after the Intercontinental Championship. Whatever. Make it interesting. Have some of the divas from Raw. I'm sorry, excuse me for calling them divas, but that's what they're making me think they are, the way they've been highlighting these girls. They're not showcasing them as professional wrestling superstars. They're showing them as divas. It's all that. But have somebody like, who the hell's even on Raw anymore? I don't even know. Have Bayley show up on SmackDown Live Tuesday. Listen, you didn't pick me last night. Please, let me come to SmackDown Live, Paige. I really need to change. I want to fight for something else. I want to get away from Sasha. Make it interesting. You don't have to grant her wish, but at least give us some drama. Give us some reason to be like, oh shit, is Bayley going to go there? Is Sasha being moved? I want something like that. I don't want just Wrestler A to show up for their segment on their new show with no explanation. Like I said, that's what they gave us last year, and the show was a complete mess. And it made no sense, and we hated it by the end of it. I don't want that to happen here. They've already ruined the Raw after WrestleMania and the SmackDown after WrestleMania last week. How can you not have a proper plan in place before you execute your Superstar shakeup? I hope they have a plan in place. I hope that they've written this out weeks ago. This way they've given themselves time to fine-tune it over the course of the next couple of weeks. At least have a general direction in which you're going. I hope it's already been set. I don't want them showing up Monday morning in the meeting room going, okay, what are we doing tonight? We got the shakeup. What are we going to do, huh? No. No, you big beaver-toothed bastard. And Vince McMahon, tonight's the shake-up, everybody. We gotta shake things up again. Who the hell goes into this with that mentality? It should already be planned out. You should be showing up on Monday morning in your little creative room going, all right, everybody, we know what we're doing tonight. Anybody got any last-minute tweaks? Anybody got any last-minute ideas? Don't come in cold Monday morning. All right, what are we doing tonight? We got to rearrange the whole roster. We got a couple hours before showtime. Let's get it done. Because that is, I guarantee you, what's happening. They're worried all week long about the greatest Royal Rumble. They're worrying about all these other things. They're not worrying about the Superstar shakeup. We'll get to that on Monday. We'll come to that bridge when it's there to cross. That's what I feel like is happening. And is going to happen come Monday. That's not what I want to see. Some of the things I do want to see. Let's talk about some of the moves that could be being made over the course of these two shows. What I would like to see is possibly somebody like Asuka permanently affixed to SmackDown Live. Get her away from that stigma of Raw and just start her fresh, start her new. Her package will feel more fresh and new on SmackDown Live. Now that she's suffered this ridiculous loss to Charlotte Flair, which shouldn't have happened. We covered all that on the SmackDown review. Shouldn't have happened at all. Have her change brands. Give her a fresh start. Some fresh girls to go and squash. Keep booking her strong. Keep booking her as the dominant Asuka. Make her a valuable commodity. Don't just throw her in the trash bin like you do everybody else. How about that? What I would really love to see, a big move from Raw to SmackDown, I think would be Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. If you're not going to have Jeff Hardy truly involved too much in the Woken universe, as it seems to be the case, as he's going to be with the Intercontinental guys right now, have them go to the other show. Bray Wyatt, for some reason, feels more appealing to me on SmackDown as it is. Matt Hardy loved to be on SmackDown Live back in the day when they did the original brand split. That was Matt Hardy's show, so to speak, and he's a SmackDown guy pretty much, and I think it would be great to, again, much like Asuka, restart this whole thing in some fresh fields. Some nice new blades of grass for them to peek through and bring their madness to all of us. That's what I would like to see. I would also like to see probably the Miz Taraj. If I could pick a whole entire group to take, I would take the Miz Taraj off of Monday Night Raw and shoot them over to SmackDown Live, but I would not keep them together. That's not going to be very good for Curtis Axel, at least the way I'm booking things, because what I would do is I would disband the Miz Taraj upon their arrival on SmackDown Live. Maybe as per General Manager Paige, maybe she's like, I don't want this Miz Taraj stuff. You guys are not a team anymore. Miz, you're on your own. Go fight Daniel Bryan now. That's the only reason why I want the Miz on SmackDown Live anyway, is to continue and have closure to that story, which kicked off with a bang over a year ago. It would be finally get to see Daniel Bryan get some revenge on the Miz. But in this particular move that I would like to make, you break off Bo Dallas and you put him with his brother and Matt Hardy in the Woken universe, in this new Hardy family, where Bray Wyatt is going to reside, at least for the time being, and you repackage and relaunch Bo Dallas alongside his real-life brother and underneath the Woken wisdom of Matt Hardy. I think it would be wonderful. Yes, absolutely wonderful. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. You give Bo Dallas that platform. Bo Dallas is wacky, man. And Bo Dallas, as, you know, remember Bo Dallas? Bo Dallas? He could take that and run with it in the Woken universe. He believes in the Woken wisdom of Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy made him believe in himself again. They could relaunch the whole thing and it would be a success just because it's attached to this crazy Matt Hardy Woken universe. Wouldn't you like to see that? I certainly would. I think that would be the first time they would properly have used Bo Dallas since he has left NXT. I think it would be great. As far as Raw is concerned, I'd like to see some guys that I am absolutely bored to tears with leave SmackDown Live and go to Monday Night Raw just to shake things up. That's the point, right? Let's shake things up again. That's my best Vince McMahon. I'm sorry. It's the best I could do. Baron Corbin is in fucking limbo on SmackDown Live. Who cares about Baron Corbin? Nobody. He lost the Money in the Bank contract this year. He's lost in multiple attempts at the United States Championship. Who cares? Let's get him out of there and start him over on a show. I mean, which is no better, really, but it would at least be different. We want different. And maybe he will fall into some sort of a program on Raw that would benefit him, that he's getting no benefits at all from being on SmackDown Live right now. Absolutely not. Dolph Ziggler, like I said, have him show up and beg and plead to Kurt Angle, please get me off this blue show. Look at what they did. You know, I know he just signed a $1.5 million, whatever bullshit contract story they want to give you, but play with it. That's why you have a writing staff. Write something interesting, play with it. Make it make sense. That's your job. What else are you there for? As far as the women, I don't really care who goes where. We're going to get the same shit anyway. I would much rather them take this opportunity to shake things up by splitting divisions to be exclusive to each show, something we wanted them to do initially, because you don't have enough talent in the tag team or the women's division. Still, over 1 year later, we are faced with the same problem we had last year. Just meld the divisions. I know you got all these fancy new belts. Well, make another new one. Something new you could sell. You don't need all these multiple belts. You don't need them. You need a women's division that feels like it matters. You need a tag team division that is flush with talent. Not 4 teams here, 4 teams there fighting over a bunch of rinky-dink belts that don't mean anything because they're not properly booked and they're not properly defended and they're not properly showcased on any of your main events or on any of your pay-per-views or anywhere. The only team doing that was the Usos, and that has now come to an end. Now that their reign has ended, let's see the New Day moved to Raw. I want the Usos to stay on SmackDown Live. They can move them to Raw as well. That would be fine. But I think there's more of a benefit in moving the New Day to Monday Night Raw and doing the same thing I said with the Miz Taraj. Split them up. Maybe you don't even have to move all of them over there. Maybe you just take Big E and you put him on his own on Monday Night Raw. This guy's got power and charisma and can carry himself without Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. You don't have to not call them the New Day. They can still be the New Day. You just have two contingents of the New Day. You have Xavier and Kofi on SmackDown as a much-needed tag team that'll just be that, and you can keep doing that. Or you split them off on their own as well and put them in the singles division. And then you have Big E doing his New Day thing on Monday Night Raw. This way you have the New Day on both shows at all times. Maybe you calm it down with the pancakes and the unicorns and the bullshit just a little bit and let Big E get serious. Because when Big E got serious on the Usos, I do that so many times. When Big E got serious on the Usos, not the Nusos, we're not combining the two teams. He was magical. He was magical on the mic. He was golden. He was serious. He was intense. And I loved to see him that way. We haven't seen Big E in a serious, dominating role in many, many years. Last time was when he was with Dolph Ziggler and AJ Lee. And that was a whole nother friggin' ball of wax to get into. We're not even going to touch that. Because I hated that whole thing. But that's some of the moves that I would make. That's definitely what I would do. But that's not what's being rumored to happen. That's not at all what I really think is going to happen. This is what I would like to see. What I think is going to happen. We have this long-time rumored swap of AJ Styles and Roman Reigns. Now, if they pull this move, it would be very, very stupid. And what would end up happening is, by Roman moving to SmackDown Live and AJ moving to Raw, it would seemingly leave Raw with no champion right now. I'm sorry, SmackDown with no champion, because AJ is the world champion and Brock Lesnar is the Universal Champion. But after the Greatest Royal Rumble, Roman Reigns will fell the beast Brock Lesnar. He will get his Universal Championship, and he will now be part of the SmackDown Live roster, bringing the title home off the shoulders of the part-timer and to SmackDown Live, who now has a title for everybody to fight for. What a conquering fucking hero that nobody wants to see. Absolutely not. But that's how they would be able to pull that off. It's not impossible. And with the way they've been doing things lately, I would not put it past Vince McMahon to pull this move at all. AJ Styles, he's wanted on Monday Night Raw for the longest time. He's willing to sacrifice Roman Reigns in order to make him feel fresh and new and to paint him in the light as a conquering hero. That would be a great way to do that. SmackDown Live will not have a champion for the next 2 weeks until Roman Reigns takes care of business in the middle of the desert. The debacle in the desert for the big dog. The fuck out of here. I don't want to see Daniel Bryan move to Raw. Lots of people are saying that Daniel Bryan fought AJ Styles last week to get that match out of the way so that when he moves to Monday Night Raw this week, people can't say we never got to see Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles. They put on an absolute 20-minute fantastic match, and the only purpose of the match was to put Shinsuke Nakamura over more as a heel, as he came out and screwed things up and did not allow the match to finish. And now if they move either AJ or Daniel Bryan to Monday Night Raw, you are killing one of the, if not the most interesting thing going on SmackDown Live. And you could make it even more important because this particular angle involves the 3 greatest wrestlers on the planet right now. The only one missing from that equation is Kenny Omega. The cleaner will make his way to the WWE eventually. But Daniel Bryan is one of the best in the world. AJ Styles, probably the very best in the world, followed closely behind by Shinsuke Nakamura. Having these guys in triple threat matches is one multi-man match I will not complain about because it'll be absolutely fantastic. I don't want to see this dynamic split up in any way, but it's heavily being rumored that Daniel Bryan is going to be moved to the Red Brand this Monday. That'll be a terrible move. Daniel Bryan has been running SmackDown Live this whole year. He's essentially one of the heart and soul type figures of SmackDown Live. I seen on Twitter earlier today, he's praying himself to not be moved. He's tweeting out things and saying, please, I don't want to be moved. It would make no sense to do that. What I absolutely see happening is a re-swap. We're going to have the exact same move happen. Mark my words, I'm telling you right now. Charlotte and Alexa Bliss will be re-swapped for one another. Neither one of them is holding a title right now. It does not have that much of implications in the show altogether. But it will get Charlotte Flair in the position to face off against Ronda Rousey at some point and be a specifically Raw branded feud. Now, they could go about this leaving Charlotte exactly where she is. You have Ronda Rousey win the Royal Rumble, and then, that was a lot of Oz for one sentence. Ronda Rousey wins the Royal Rumble for the women this coming year, and then she could pick whoever she wants to fight. Obviously, she will pick Charlotte because that's the marquee match. Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey is a match the world wants to see. Charlotte Flair is nowhere near capable of pulling off a great match with Ronda Rousey, but we are led to believe that just because of her last name, and by the time we get to it, it may actually be a fantastic thing. But what happens to Alexa Bliss? We're all tired of what she's been doing on Monday Night Raw. I don't want to see the mean girl bully bullshit anymore. Move her back to where she established her success and have her challenge once again for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship against the likes of Naomi and Becky and Carmella and whoever else you have over there by the time this shakeup is done. That is probably the most guaranteed move I think is going to happen. Because Alexa Bliss, it doesn't matter. She doesn't need to be on Monday Night Raw. She's established herself over the course of the year. Her championship reign was somewhat garbage. It's not really her fault because the WWE did not paint her in a championship light. They made her look like a Weasley little cowardly bully towards the end of this whole thing with a big mouth that can't go back there and back it up. And it made it look like all year she's been holding the title hostage while Sasha and Bayley are bickering all year long. And that's the most interesting thing actually happening in the women's division. But the champion's over there. And nobody cared. Nobody cared. It made it even less for Nia Jax to win it from Alexa Bliss. Their friendship and that whole shit, that whole storyline, it didn't matter. Did it make it special to you? It didn't make it special to me. I didn't give two shits about Nia Jax winning the Women's Championship, and that's a shame. You got Nia Jax crying about being picked on by a barely 5-foot-tall lady who couldn't beat Nia Jax if Nia Jax was dying of something. She would still be able to crush Alexa Bliss. Instead of having her be the giant woman with a badass temper, confident in herself, that's the positive message to send. Let her have Alexa's comments do nothing. They bounce off of her like bullets off of Superman. Pow! I don't care what you say, little midget lady. I'm gonna rip your head off. But instead you have this big, dominant figure, this powerful woman who should fear nothing, crying and groveling like a little girl because of a girl half her size, calling her names and making fat jokes. Terrible. Alexa Bliss needs to be moved. I don't care. The one thing that I hate about it is that they're just correcting the mistake they made the first time by swapping these girls while they were the champions at the time, I believe. I don't remember. I don't think that was the case. But whatever. The one last thing I want to talk about is Rusev. Rusev is the wild card in this scenario because nobody knows the reality of his situation. Rusev has been very cryptic and very creepy all week long with his Twitter account. His handle right now is just a period. He's removed all references of the WWE from his Twitter account altogether. He's tweeting things like, "Bury me softly" to The Undertaker. Lana's saying that she was behind the movement, that she didn't want to see Rusev Day buried by The Undertaker. Rusev Day should be celebrated across the world, not placed in casket matches. Where is Rusev going to end up? Is Rusev even going to still be employed? I think Rusev should stay on SmackDown Live because him going to Raw is going to make it even worse for Rusev. Eventually, SmackDown Live is going to have to stop punishing him for whatever the fuck it is they're mad at him for. If they're still holding this grudge because he cut his hair without telling them, and they didn't have a chance to make a hair versus hair match out of it, or they're still mad at him for marrying the love of his life while they were in the middle of a Dolph Ziggler fucking bullshit storyline that didn't make sense, it's probably why he did it. You're writing his girlfriend into these angles with this other guy. You know what? I'm just going to get engaged right now. She's mine. She's not going to be used as a toy. We're engaged. Have respect for our relationship. Stop making her make out with Dolph Ziggler. I'm all behind that. I respect that if that's where he was going with it. But to punish him this hard for this long, and to put him in a match at WrestleMania that was clearly the restart point to relaunch Rusev Day. The whole crowd wanted it. They were chanting for Rusev Day from before they even got into the arena at WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans. Rusev Day was present all weekend long. And you have him take the pin at WrestleMania to Jinder Mahal? Garbage. Absolute garbage. I'm worried about the future for Rusev. I'm not really going to buy into all of this until I hear some concrete facts. You know, when he is finally, if he is released, hopefully that is not the case, but if he is released, I will be bringing that story to you immediately with the fury like the gust of 1,000 winds, because Rusev is fucking awesome. Rusev is awesome. He turned himself from a scary beast man from Bulgaria that people didn't really like into this awesome, likable, everyman, just really charming and fun-loving guy, which is more of what he really is. And that's why we've gravitated to him as a fan base. And that's why we're behind Rusev Day. It's fucking awesome. It's absolutely awesome. I just noticed this little logo thing sticking out here, and it should be down here and just a little bit bigger because I changed the logos at the beginning. As you saw, it's all nice and fancy now. That doesn't really go nicely down there. We're going to fix that up for the next broadcast, but that's going to do it for this broadcast. Of course, I noticed that all the way down at the end. I probably thought it was just one of my little things over here. I had no fucking idea. And then I'm looking, I'm like, what do I have that's green? What the hell is over here in the corner? It's fucking green. Logos. That's what happens when you try to change things up. To keep things fresh for you guys, to keep you coming back for more on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Nick Nightmare. Check out the Facebook fan page, facebook.com/The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Check us out everywhere else you can. iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher Radio, and of course, right here on YouTube.com. Don't forget to check out everything else we have on the channel. If you missed any of the reviews from this weekend, which I know you probably didn't because the numbers were fantastic, go back and watch them again because they were great. If not, be expecting the hammer to fall this Monday night when we bring to you our wrap-up and review of the first part of the SuperStar Shakeup. My God, am I terrified. My name is Nick Nightmare. With me, as always, is my trusty sledgehammer, Thor, the wrestling god of thunder, and my little buddy, my trusty companion, and the world heavyweight champion of microphones, Blue the Snowball. This has been the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, right here on Sledgehammer TV, only on YouTube.com. Thank you for joining us. That is going to do it. We are out of here. And we will see you next time right here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Have a good one.